Hi guys, this is Luz again, and today I'm going to teach you how to make quick Puerto Rican beans, the easy way. Things you will need. You will need salt, pepper, garlic, cumin, olives, and sofrito. Some cilantro, of course the beans, and some potatoes. You don't need everything that I have here. Some of the stuff you can omit if you don't have it. First, I want to tell you, when you open a can of beans, very important, always rinse the cans completely, truly. I've been saying this before the you-know-who virus. You will also need some potatoes, and I'll tell you about it a little later. So if you don't have any sofrito, no big deal. I have a video of how to make it. But if, let's say you don't have it and you don't have time to make it, all you need is half a medium onion, half a green pepper, 3 garlic cloves. You put them in the blender or in the bullet, instant sofrito, no problem. Let's say you don't have a blender, you don't have a bullet, no problem. Just throw half an onion, half a green pepper, and 3 garlic cloves in the pot, and you will have amazing beans too. The flavor will be there. So no excuses for not making Puerto Rican style beans. You also need a pot, and I have this fancy pot that I found in a thrift store. I paid $3 for it, and it has a little gadget to let the steam comes out, because beans can be very, very messy. You still have to cover them, but when you cover them, if you don't have a lid like mine, you have to leave the pot a little open so some of the steam can escape. So I think I said everything I wanted to say before we start assembling the beans. Also, if you are on a diet and you don't want to use potatoes, no problem. You can soak them in water for 10 minutes. That's going to get rid of some of the starch. Of course, dump the water before you put them on the beans. Or you can use a carrot. I know some Puerto Rican moms are going to go crazy for the way I'm making these beans, but this is beans for the working mom. 40 hours, you're dead tired, and it is important that we make good home meals for our children. So this is a quick way of doing beans. I'm sorry, Puerto Rican women, don't get mad at me. So without further ado, let's start. The first, and I know the Puerto Rican moms are going to be mad at me because I don't stir fry the sofrito. You can use olive oil, but I don't. But you can. You can put the olive oil and put the sofrito there and stir fry it and then assemble everything. But I omit that step. So beans. And this is a can of 40-ounce beans, but if you only do 1 can of bean, cut the recipe in half. That's how I see it, okay? So there goes the beans. 1 can of tomato sauce, not tomato paste, tomato sauce, any brand. There we go. Now the sofrito. It's just a wind, really. And what else? Cumin. And I'm using 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of everything except the sofrito. Sofrito, I use 2 tablespoons per can. But for everything else, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. You can always put more or less. It's up to you. I love cumin, so I double the cumin and I double the pepper. But that's just me, how I like it. So there goes the cumin, garlic, salt, pepper, and cilantro. I love cilantro, but if you don't have cilantro, no problem. The onions and the garlic and the sofrito already have cilantro if you're using sofrito, so don't worry about it. Olives. If I'm cooking for, I say 5 people, because this beans is enough for 5 people, and I could have leftovers. I'm using like 2 olives per person. And if you don't like olives, okay, you can make it without olives, but it adds flavor to it. You don't have to eat the olives. You can just take the olives out. Give them all to me. Okay, so now you have all the ingredients here. What we need is, oh, I need to add the potatoes. So let me get the water out. And potatoes have a bad rap. They're really good for you. They're bad for you if you put mayonnaise or butter or cheese or bacon. Then they're bad for you. But a potato is very healthy. Oops, there we go. So now, water. I usually take my pot to the faucet and I fill the pot like 1 inch above the beans, but I'm doing it in front of the camera, so I'm gonna put water in the can and figure this out with you guys. I don't use measurements neither. I just throw everything in there. So the same amount of water of beans, maybe a little bit more. So 16 can of bean, 16 can of water. And sometimes when I take the starch out of the potatoes, the beans are not going to be so thick like your traditional Puerto Rican beans, but it's okay. The flavors are still there and it's very healthy and good for you. And the next day they will be thick. Eventually they will be thick. And there's another trick that I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to post this video, and then after they cook, add the second part, but if not, I'm going to do part 1 and part 2. So now I'm going to bring this pot to the stove, bring it to a quick boil, and then I'm going to lower it medium to low, and I'm going to simmer it. And I think it's going to take from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the potato. Everything here is cooked and you can eat it. I mean, you can actually eat this just right now. You won't get sick. Well, the potatoes are raw. But once the potato is ready, usually that's when the beans are ready. So I will say from 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on the potato you use. So this is it. Okay? And so I'll be back with the second part. So the beans have been cooking for 25 minutes and they're about to be ready. Alexa, stop. I didn't wait for the timer. But anyway, I wanted to show you the trick that I do when I feel that my beans are not thick enough. And hopefully I don't get burned. Beautiful. They smell delicious. So if I feel that the beans are too watery, which still they're gonna taste delicious, what I do is I smash a little bit of the potatoes and the beans on the side, and then I let it simmer for another 5 minutes. Ooh, look at all that cilantro. But I think these beans are ready. I like them this way. So I'm going to add a little brown rice later on. I'm going to have some for lunch. Remember, beans are a protein, and rice and beans are a complete protein, and they're very cheap and good for you. And what I really, really want is for my friend and my family to spend more time in the kitchen than buying food, ordering food out. So, I mean, it's nothing wrong with eating restaurants once in a while, but not every day. So, see, they're still a little watery. The leftovers will set very well. And where is the spoon? What did I? Oh, here's my spoon. So let me try it. Very good. Maybe less pepper if you're gonna make it for little kids. You can always put the pepper after you serve your children. But yeah, delicious. All the flavors are there. Let me see if I can show it to you. Bring it to the camera. You see that? Oh, I wish I had better equipment. But I promise you, they are delicious. Bye. Well, let me say goodbye the proper way. Bye. Happy cooking.